Let's talk a little bit about the Game Awards and about which games could actually win there. Obviously, GTA 6 has a very good chance if it doesn't get moved to the next year, but in whatever year the game releases, it has a very good chance of winning the award. At the same time, if we look at the history, we don't have a precedent of a GTA game being released while the Game Awards took place, because they only started from 2014 in its modern form. If we look at the history of GTA games winning awards, it is very noticeable that in 2013, when GTA 5 came out, actually Last of Us won most of the Game Awards that year. There are still a lot of awards that GTA 5 won. So it is pretty clear that a GTA game has a very good chance of winning some awards. At the same time, it is still difficult to predict how well GTA 6 will actually do, because we just don't know so much about the game. Of course, there have been a lot of leaks, and from that we can already see quite where this game is going, and the map actually looks pretty good. But at the same time, I also have to say that I really like the map of GTA 5. Some people complain about this map, but it is very nice because it has one big city and it has a lot of nature, and then there are some smaller cities, and you really can go to a lot of different places and do a lot of things. And if GTA 6 includes multiple big cities and has even more things to do, I think this game will really excel in a lot of things. We also have to keep in mind that we really talk about Rockstar games, and they know how to make good video games. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, it was a huge success, and people still like this game to this day a lot. At the same time, it should be noted that this game was nominated for Game of the Year, but actually God of War won in that year. So even with precedent of the current Game Awards, it is not said that a Rockstar game would necessarily win. At the same time, GTA 6 is a much bigger and more important game that has been anticipated for such a long time. And even though I really believe that this game will be very good and amazing, there are a lot of expectations with this game. And with a lot of expectations, a lot of things could go wrong. If we look at the recent GTA trilogy of the remastered games, we could certainly say that a lot of things went wrong with this. Of course, they were not developed by Rockstar themselves, but still, they could have done more to ensure that these remasters have a very good quality. And there is something with the GTA 6 leaks that I'm a bit worried about, because actually there seems to be some new mechanics how you can steal cars in the game, and if this is really true, it might destroy a little bit this arcadic feeling or this easy feeling of just getting a new car in the game and just going away, and changing the gameplay like this could really disrupt it, and if it's not executed well, it could be a bit stupid. But it's really too early to say that, so we just have to wait and see. All I want to say is that I think that GTA 6 of course has a very big chance of winning Game of the Year, but from everything that we know right now about the game, it is not 100% clear and we really cannot say it. And then there's Mario Kart World. And of course it seems insane to say that a Mario Kart game actually has a chance of winning Game of the Year. But at the same time, it is a new open world game by Nintendo. And what they did with Breath of the Wild was so incredible. And I am very surprised by them going this route. And the more I think about it, it makes so much sense of making an open world Mario Kart game. Because the way how they're executing is really that you have like all of your normal tracks and you can still race on them and have settings to race on them. And at the same time, you have so many possibilities of connecting these tracks with each other and just having new ways of racing over them and racing from one track to another in different directions. And I first want to address the thing that people say that this game only has 30 tracks. First of all, it is pretty obvious that the game has more than just 30 tracks, because we didn't see the Rainbow Road yet. And with the Rainbow Road, there might even be an entire part of the world that we haven't seen yet that includes a lot of tracks that we haven't seen. that is one of the possibilities, and Nintendo really likes surprises. I mean, if we look at Tears of the Kingdom, they didn't tell us about the underworld or the dark world or the depths until the game released. So first of all, there's that. But second of all, if it was a normal Mario Kart game like the other Mario Kart games that we had before, yes, it would be very disappointing if we only had 32 tracks. But this is not the case, because all the connections and roads between the tracks also are their own tracks and they count for themselves. And if you really look at the footage that we saw, it looks like those tracks are something special and they are not just some in-between filler content. No, they look like proper, amazing fun things to drive through. So if you put all of this together, from the drivable area where we can have races, it might already be the case that this game has almost as much content as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has at this moment. I mean, if we look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the Booster Course Pass, of course it's ridiculous how many tracks we have. We almost have 100, so maybe it's not that much content and maybe the variety of the tracks is also not the same. But still, there is much more content than just the 30 tracks that are being thrown around right now. And then there's just all of the potential that comes when you have an open world game like this. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do if you have a multiplayer open world game. Just look up what people are doing with Mario Odyssey or with Zelda Breath of the Wild with multiplayer mods. And then imagine this supported by Nintendo with their own ideas and new game modes. I mean, we could play something like Among Us in Mario Kart or hide and seek in Mario Kart. And this would be a lot of fun. Even if it's not supported by Nintendo, we can make up our own ways of playing this, and that would already be a lot of fun. And then they can do so much with this open world, and I think there are still some game modes that we haven't seen yet. And at the same time, everything that we have seen looks very amazing. Of course, with the battle mode, I'm now a bit disappointed with the Direct because it looks like we still have the old battle mode system. I mean the old new battle mode system where basically you have a timer and you should just destroy as many balloons as you can. But they also mentioned at one point that you have custom settings, so I just hope that we get a survival based battle mode. And with this, for example, we could even have a battle royale mode where over the entire map with maybe 100 players or something like this, we have a battle mode. And even this mode could be incredible. So we really don't know yet how amazing this game really is. And from what I see at this moment, I see a lot of potential. And as I said before, it really depends on how it is being executed. And if all of these things are executed in the right way and the cultural impact of this game is big enough, I think that it definitely has a shot at being nominated for Game of the Year and maybe even winning. To be honest, I didn't think that a game like Astrobot could win, but now when I look at it, it is very nice to see it. And similar things like this could happen. It's really not clear that the favorite, which obviously is GTA 6, definitely has to win. And then of course there's the price of the game. And with this, I have a lot of thoughts about it. Because for me it seems almost ridiculous that there is such a big outrage about $20 more for a game, because apparently $60 is acceptable but $80 is not acceptable. And okay, I get the point that things are getting more expensive and that is very annoying, and I think also it's just in general annoyance about things getting more expensive. But when they are saying that they put so much effort into developing this game, I think we will really only see it when the game releases what they mean with it. And from what we see right now, some people might say that it's not enough yet, but I don't agree. At the same time, I see the point because, yeah, we could see more stuff, but I think there is more stuff. And at the same time, yeah, I think it's not a general price hike for all Nintendo Switch games, because that's also some misinformation that's running around. Nintendo Switch games will not cost $80 each. A lot of them will cost much less. At the same time, I also am a bit annoyed that they say we make dynamic pricing and then it doesn't go in the other direction, because there are a lot of games which should maybe only cost $30 or more from how much you get out of them, and I don't think Nintendo will do this. And there are a lot of things to criticize Nintendo about. I also would like to mention that right now, of course it is limited, but there is the bundle for getting the Switch 2 together with Mario Kart World, and at this moment nobody owns a Nintendo Switch 2 system. So anyway, you have to buy the Switch 2 to get this game. And if you get this in the bundle, the game only costs $40. But as I said, it is limited, so at one point this will not be available anymore, and then the game definitely costs $80 when you want to get it. So yeah, there's that. But what I'm really talking about is the quality of the game itself, because I think it should be looked separately from the price as well. There is just the fun that you have with the game and just how good the game really is. And I think, of course, it is a very emotional topic to also include the price and all of this, but I still think like the game is its own thing, and developers make the game and they really put their passion into it and they try to make a good product, and then the company itself decides how much it costs. And then I think we should criticize the company for it and not the game developers and the game itself with its quality. Maybe that's just my own opinion, but that's how I see it. So if you ask me right now, I think GTA 6 and Mario Kart World would be nominated for Game of the Year. And it really depends on how good the games both are when they get released and how much we know about it then, who has a chance of really winning the award. But from my point of view, it's just very interesting that a game like Mario Kart World looks so much better than I expected that I really think it has a chance of even going there, which was just not even a possibility before. Because with a game like Mario Kart 8, I would say it's a very fun game and everything, but it doesn't deserve to even be considered for something like this.